I'm going to do a very quick little video about 7th chord notation, and that is, what are we going to, how are we going to write this in shorthand? Like if you see a chord chart or if you're looking up chords on the internet, how would you wouldn't normally see this entire thing written out, so what would the symbols be that you see? And actually, I want to just do a quick little amendment of some of these names here. So C fully diminished 7th. That is in fact the official name of this chord, but really a lot of times what you'll see is just C diminished. It's called the C diminished 7th. That means that implies the full. C half diminished is the only one that's really normally specified as having a less than one value. So C diminished, C half diminished. And there's a really interesting thing to say about the dominant 7th. So the traditional name for the dominant 7th is the major minor 7th, because it's the reverse of the minor major. In the minor major 7th, you have a minor third and a major 7th, so minor major. And in the dominant 7th, you have a major third and a minor 7th, and so you get the major minor 7th. But um, this chord is very rare. Like in my life as a musician, I don't think I've ever actually played this chord in a professional context. I haven't played a lot of jazz, mostly pop, but anyway, so I haven't seen this chord a lot. This chord I play every single time I play a gig. The dominant chord is one of the most common chords and really one of the most important chords in kind of all of music. So just wanted to make that quick little adjustment there. All right, I'm going to open this up and it's going to be a little bit intimidating. Bam, shorthand notation. There are a lot of ways to write different chords. Let's only look at this row for now. So the C diminished 7th can be written like this, C dim 7. Sometimes you'll see our favorite little degree symbol followed by 7, so that's the same thing as C dim 7. Sometimes you'll see C minor with a flat 7, and then it'll specify that it actually has a flat 5. So C, and think about it, like a C minor triad with a flat 5 is the same thing as a diminished triad, and then you add the flat 7 on top of it, so that's your C diminished 7th. And then this is the exact same thing, but instead of this little M, you've got the minus sign, which also stands for minor. So the most common one I see for diminished is actually this one. And if I write this later in the course, then I'm going to be using this notation. I might occasionally use this one if I don't have the degree symbol handy. Anyway, so C half diminished. You've got a new little symbol here. Sometimes this is written in a superscript, like it looks like an exponent to the C. So you have the C with the 0 slash. That means half diminished, which is the same thing as C minor 7 flat 5. So think about a C minor 7 chord, which is minor third, minor third. And now imagine if this 5 were a flat here, then you would have the identical notes to what's in this row. And so that's why they do that. So the C minor 7 flat 5, and then here you substitute that minus sign for the M, and it's the same exact thing. Truthfully, I see this one the most commonly used. Like on websites and stuff, I will see this one. But just because of visual cleanliness, so truly, I mean, I should really say most common. Really, it's truly is this one, but I like this one, so I'm just going to use it here. C minor 7th, we're getting a little less complicated, thank God. So C minor 7th, these are easy. C min 7th, C M7, and C minus 7. This one is the most common one I see. For the minor major 7th, this is just such an unusual or such a rare chord. I don't see it very often, but when I do, it usually does look like this. This triangle shape means major, and so I'm going to throw that there. C dominant 7, look at this. There's just one symbol for it, and it's this one. C7. Very interesting. A lot of beginners with 7 chords make the mistake that C7 is a C major 7th, and that is not true. C7 is the dominant 7th, and just, I mean, think about what this says about the commonality of this chord, or the frequency of use of this chord. It has the shortest symbol. Anyway, so there you go. C major 7th is, so C major 7, C triangle 7. Oh, these are the exact same things. Or actually, what I meant to write is C capital M 7. Sometimes you'll see that this capital M is in contrast to this lowercase m. But actually, this is the one that I like the most, and I tend to see it quite a lot. And last but not least, you got your augmented sevenths. So think about a C major 7, but with a sharp 5. So here's my C major 7. And the only difference between this and this is that this G is a G sharp. And so the C major 7 sharp 5 is one very accurate way to write the augmented 7th chord. Or you might see this C plus, which stands for the augmented triad, and then the capital M7. And this is the same thing. This triangle basically means the same thing as the capital M. And so I like the triangle. I'm going to keep it right here. Whoops, let's try that again. So these, are these really the most common ones? They're the ones that I like. Symbols Josh likes. And yeah, they are quite common actually, but truly, well, whatever. We're going to stop here, but you get the picture. So there are lots of symbols, lots of different ways to write it. Pick your favorite one. These are my favorite ones, and they're the ones that I tend to see the most often, especially on chord charts, especially in apps like iReal Pro, which is a great app for learning chord charts, and sometimes on websites I'll see stuff like this. Although truly, on websites sometimes I'll actually see some of the chords written out like this because they want to be a little bit more user friendly, and not every musician knows what this triangle means. But anyway, now you know what the triangle means, and so you're going to have a good time with the shorthand. Cool. On to diatonic 7th chords.